Hello, dear students. Welcome back. Today we have two new stories one about India's achievement in space exploration, and another about a forgotten chapter of our freedom struggle. These stories initially might seem unrelated, but at their core, they are about India's journey of determination, courage, and innovation. So, buckle up because we are going to explore ISRO's latest achievement, how India has become the fourth country in the world to successfully dock and undock satellites in space. And then we're going to talk about INA, okay, its incredible history, its role in our independence, and how a 99-year-old veteran still honors its legacy. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to talk about India's space leap, the SPARDEX mission. On March 14, the ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, achieved a major milestone. It successfully undocked two satellites from each other in space. And this was part of mission called SPADEX Space Docking Experiment. Now, docking and undocking, okay, docking and undocking, it might sound a bit complicated, okay, but and uh, and in space, of course, it's an extremely complex task. Imagine trying to make two cars drive at the same speed and then park together in the middle of a highway. Except there's no gravity, no air resistance, and you're moving at a thousands of kilometers per hour. That's exactly what ISRO did. So these two satellites were SDX, SDX 01, SDX 01, and SDX 02. SDX 02. SDX 1 was Chaser and SDX 02 was Target. So they were launched into the space on December 30. Then on January 16, ISRO successfully docked them, meaning they joined together in orbit. And now, for the first time, ISRO has successfully undocked them. Okay, so why is this important? Why we are talking about this news? Because ISRO is now among four elite space agencies after US, Russia, and China that have mastered this technique. Okay, and why is such a big deal? Because first of all, there are few reasons why we are making it a big deal. First of all, in future, if India plans to build its own space station, so this docking and undocking technology will be essential for connecting different modules in space. तो जो different modules है उनको कैसे connect किया जाएगा वो इसके through possible हो पाएगा. And if we ever send astronauts to the moon or Mars, we will need spacecraft that can dock and undock while traveling. So that is why this is again important. Moreover, again in the future, robotic arms in space might repair satellites or even refuel them. So docking technology will help make this possible. Okay? Now talking about how did ISRO achieve it? See, the undocking happened in a 460-kilometer circular path. Okay? So it happened in a 460-kilometer circular orbit at 45-degree inclination. Okay, meaning it was in a stable path around the earth. ठीक है, simply इसका meaning यही है. So ISRO scientists they simulated the entire process multiple times before actually doing it. ऐसा नहीं कि उन्होंने first time में ही कर दिया है तो फिर उन्होंने practice नहीं किया, practice किया था. Okay, so they simulated this entire process multiple times. And this kind of planning is very important because even if there's a small mistake uh, even if the smallest mistake happens, the satellites it could spin uh, out of control or crash into each other. So that is why we had said earlier that this process is a bit complex. So what's next? Now ISRO is planning more experiments with these satellites in the coming days, and these tests will help India develop future missions involving docking, undocking, and several other procedure. So in simple words, ISRO's latest achievement is like India learning how to drive, park and unpark spacecraft in space. All right. तो छोटे बच्चे आप इस तरह से समझ लीजिए. Now students, we are going to talk about history, history of India's freedom struggle. So why we are talking about INA today? First of all, a veteran of the Indian National Army, Lieutenant Rangaswamy Madhavan Pillai, celebrated his 99th birthday by paying tribute to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and fallen soldiers. All right. Now, this might seem just like another tribute, but the INS story is one of the most inspiring and forgotten chapters of India's independence movement. Right? So, when we talk about history of Indian National Army, that is what we're going to talk about. It is also known as Azad Hind Fauj. It was a military force formed by Indian nationalists during World War II. Okay, so it was formed uh, in the year it was formed after World War II. Okay, World War II. And what was its objective? Of course, to fight for India's freedom from British rule. And it was led by none other than Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and it played a significant role in India's freedom movement. When we talk about the origin, start कैसे हुआ था? Start बच्चों सुभाष चंद्र बोस ने नहीं किया था. So INA was first formed in the year 1942. Okay, it formed in the year 1942 by Captain Mohan Singh. Captain Mohan Singh. Okay, after the Japanese defeated British in Singapore, thousands of Indian soldiers became prisoner of war. बहुत सारे ऐसे soldiers थे जो prisoner of war बन गए थे. And seeing this as an opportunity, Mohan Singh, with the support of Japanese, began forming an army of Indian soldiers who are willing to fight against the British forces. However, there were some disagreements with Japanese forces, and INA was temporarily disbanded. Then, in the year 1943, 1943, Netaji Subhash Bose took control of INA in Singapore. Okay, he took control of INA in Singapore and recognized it with full support from Japan. He gave the famous slogan, "Give me blood and I will give you freedom." Moreover, Netaji also formed the Azad Hind government, which was basically a provisional government of Free India on October same year, right? So, if we talk about the structure and organization of INA, the INA had around 45,000 soldiers at its peak. So 45,000 soldiers come nahi hote hain, right? And it was structured like a professional army with three brigades. There was also a women brigade led by Captain Lakshmi Sehgal. It was called Rani Jhansi Regiment. And INA also had soldiers from all religions and regions. So it basically united them all with the common goal of independence. Right. Now, if we talk about the role of INA, first of all, INA fought alongside Japanese forces against the British in Burma, okay, Myanmar, which is currently now in Myanmar. So, its first campaign was the Burma campaign, and through this campaign only, they captured Andaman Nicobar and hoisted Indian flag in Manipur in 1944. However, as Japan began losing World War II, INA forces also faced defeats and had to retreat. Okay. And after the INA's defeat in 1945, British arrested thousands of INA soldiers and put them on trial at the Red Fort, Delhi. And this was very significant. This was uh, very important. At that time, uh, the trial of INA soldiers at Red Fort, it sparked a sense of patriotism among everyone, right? And these trials, it also sparked massive protests across India, especially among Indian soldiers in the British Indian army and navy, because they were able to relate their sentiments with the soldiers of INA. Moreover, after the INA trial, thousands of Indian naval sailors in Bombay also revolted against British in 1946, right? And this showed the British that even their own army was turning against them. Okay? So, although INA was militarily defeated, its impact on India's independence movement was immense. It united Indians across regions and religions in the fight against British rule, their oppressor. Okay? So INA's struggle was not just about war. It was about proving that India could fight for itself. All right. तो ये चीज थी, और साथ ही साथ कहीं ना कहीं जो आईएनए का जो स्ट्रगल था, वो एक it became a turning point in our independence movement because it pressured the British to leave India. And many historians they believe that INA trials and this public sympathy for INA soldiers, it played a key role in forcing the British to speed up their decision to leave India, because now they have understood कि even our own army is going against us. है ना? तो जब आर्मी ही अगेंस्ट में जाएगी फिर किसके थ्रू कंट्रोल करेंगे? So, in some way, it actually pressured the British to leave India. All right. So, that is all for today, students. So, as we look at India's technological future with ISRO's space mission, we should also remember our historical past and the sacrifices made by people like Lieutenant Pillai and the INA. So just like ISRO, scientists they are pushing India towards space exploration. Netaji and INA pushed India towards freedom. And both stories are about determination, vision, and national pride. All right. So the next time you see a satellite launch, think about how far we have come from fighting for independence to reaching for the stars. Right. So that's all for today's episode. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and stay curious. Bye bye.